Welcome, everyone. Who's running it today?
Miss Volkmann here again.
Miss Folkman. Okay, Miss
Yes.
Folkman.
Okay, so I will read the intro. Yeah.
No, let's not.
No.
It's not an AA meeting, and let's go to it.
So I don't read it, or?
No, don't read it today.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm reading from page 88. It's very short
Yeah,
this time.
88,
Uh, no, sorry, 87 at the bottom.
87.
Yes.
All right, hold on. Don't start yet. I got to
So
get,
into action, chapter 6.
oh, into action. All right.
So as we go through the day, we pause when
Hold
agitated
on a
or
second. Hold on, Miss Folkman. It's the last paragraph on the page, the end of the page.
yes, yes.
Okay.
As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful and ask for the right thought or action. We constantly remind ourselves, sorry, we are no longer running the show, humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, thy will be done. We are then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self pity, or foolish decisions. We become much more efficient. We do not tire so easily, for we are not burning up, sorry, burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. It works, it really does. We alcoholics are undisciplined, so we let God discipline us in the simple way we have just outlined. But this is not all, there is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. Yeah.
Yes. Great. Well, my opinion of this today is we're coming out of one condition and we're attempting to enter another condition, right? Or a new basis. Yeah. And what trails us when we're trying to move into the new basis is old habits. Yeah. So AA suggests certain things to do when we run into familiar shit like not knowing what to do. So when I used to run out there, when I ran into, I didn't know what to do, I did something. And that usually got me in jail or into a bad situation. So now they're saying pause, yes? Pause when you seem to be occupied by doubt and agitated. Wow. Usually I went into action when I had doubt and agitation. So this is pause. Now, of course, uh, we entertain this because it's going to produce a habit. Yeah. So that which is unusual becomes a habit, and a habit is an action without thought. So you will pause when agitated and doubtful. You will not try to pause when agitated and doubtful. After a while, these conditions are going to become part of you. Yeah. So how we're doing here as we're getting introduced to the solution, it sounds like this. When you're living the solution, you don't sound like this. You're not doing it every day. You're seeing from it every day. Yeah. So here it says, as we go through the day, we pause. Now we go through the day and we're paused. Yeah. We don't pause, we're paused. Yeah. So that's the spirit is working now. First, it looks like we have to work the spirit, but quickly we realize what's going on here has, in a sense, very little to do with us and a whole lot to do with the higher power. So now the higher power puts us in a condition of pause before we start acting out because we're doubtful and agitated. Yeah. And then it goes, we ask for the right thought in action or action. This, when you're in the pause, that's asking for the right thought or action after a while. Yes? When the pause occurs, I don't say that sentence. I did when I was younger in AA. I don't say, please God, whatever. It's there. Yeah. Yeah. So honoring the pause is like demonstrating that I'm asking for the right thought or action. Yes? Yeah. and you'll grow into this. And when you grow into this, you're in the act of growing out of the other shit. Yeah. Okay. So we constantly remind ourselves we are no longer running the show. After a while, you're not going to do that because you're not running the show anymore. Yeah. And it's clear that which is thinking it's still running the show isn't you. So this is for when we enter the program of recovery. This isn't the habit you live by for 40 years in recovery. Yeah. I don't feel this hasn't happened with me. What living in this in recovery, you become a free range alcoholic in a sense. You're not. So here, uh, we humbly what we are no longer running the show. We're clear about that after a while. Yeah. It's not like it just happened overnight while you were asleep. You're very clear you're not running the show, that you're driven. Yes. That something is doing for you what you can't do for yourself. And I'd really love to see people apply something did through you that you wouldn't have done to yourself with the old employer. But that seems to be, that's a work in progress. Yeah. Okay, so here goes. Uh, Humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, thy will be done. I did that. I don't do that now. Yeah. Because really, my observation is thy will is done. I'm not asking for it in a future uh, situation. I'm living under it. Yeah. So thy will be done has thy will is done. Yeah. One is a prayer and the other is an observation. The observation is thy will is done. You see, there's growth. When you grow out of stuff. And also you grow into other stuff. Yeah. The person who's sitting in a meeting right now, the AA they see as AA will not be how they see AA in a couple of months. Yeah. AA will not have changed. They will change. Yes. The beauty of AA, its principles and shit do not change. They change you. Yeah. Thy will be done. We are there. Oh, wait a second. We are then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self pity, or foolish decisions. I'm there. Yeah. I'm not trying to get there. That's the new basis. We had this thing. Very important, I feel. We were talking about the third step prayer, and a man from the UK shared. It was very cool. And he said for years and years and years, he has been praying the third step prayer. Please relieve me of the bondage of self. And then at the meeting, he noticed he was relieved of the bondage of self. And then he saw that his praying for a future condition of being relieved from the bondage of self was denying the present condition of being relieved from the bondage of self. You see? There's a point where prayer is a disservice because prayer then is an expression of in your doubt. Yes, you're doubting that it's actually so, so you keep praying that it will be so. Yeah, that's trusting the finite self. You pray when something doesn't seem available. When it's available, you're honoring it. Yes, you're honoring it. You're noting it. You're aware of it. And your amount of prayers may decrease. Yes, you see, a lot of things we do is because something that we feel we need is absent. It's not absent anymore. Yes. It says it. You will feel a new power flow in. You'll sense a conscious presence. Yeah. All right, here. So thy will is done is an observation. Thy will be done is a hope. Yes? You start with thy will be done and you come to the conclusion thy will is done. Yeah. All right. So we are then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self pity, or foolish decisions. I hope many of us are sitting in that right now. I hope that lovely couch I'm looking at represents the ease and comfort that you're in at the moment. Not based on any of your efforts or thoughts, but by the influence of what we have met through the auspices of this program, which is the higher power's influence. Yeah. We are then in much less danger. Okay. We become much more efficient. Well, I don't know about that. In the world, I don't know about that. But in some ways, much more efficient, yes. We became much more efficient. We do not tire so easily. That's for sure. For we are not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves, and also reacting to what's not happening all day. Reacting to what's not happening all day instead of responding to what's happening is very exhausting. Yeah. Because anything can happen in what's not happening. Yeah. You're getting electrocuted a lot doing little electrocutions. Yeah. You're burnt out. You are. What's not happening occupies most of the head's realm. Yeah. You want to know something? Look at the thought system. You want to know what the thought system values? It uses this moment to think about yesterday and tomorrow. There you go. You don't need to read an 800-page book. Just check its value system. Its value system is, oh, I have a minute to think about yesterday and tomorrow. I mean, do you really want that to be your GPS? All right, so for we are not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. It works, it really does. It works, there is a solution. We alcoholics are undisciplined, so we let God. I wouldn't say that. I could start almost every day with no money and end up doing a lot of coke that day. I was very disciplined in my seeking for certain things. We alcoholics are undisciplined, so we let God discipline us. Yes. Do a lot of people do that, or or is the head playing God with their discipline in recovery? I would imagine we're mostly reading the reports the head is sending about how our spiritual condition is. That's playing God, yes. You're not doing it, but the head is still playing God. Who do you take the highest power observation of you in recovery, or are you going over your mental state's opinion about how you're doing with the spiritual condition? I've got to do more. Where did that come from? All right, we are alcoholics, are undisciplined, so we let God discipline us in a simple way. Yeah, and why not just keep letting it discipline you? Yeah, but this is not all. There's a nun when I was in first grade, Sister Marion. Everyone loved her because if it was sunny, she would say, "I I want you to stay outside for 3 hours after you leave school." This is sort of like the higher powers discipline for me now. It's basically, yeah, graze wherever you want to graze. Yeah. We out but this is not all. There is action and more action. Faith with works is dead. The next chapter is entirely devoted to step 12. Oh, all right. Yeah. Can there be action without an actor? Yes, I say so. There's a lot of difference between action and my action. Just like a lot of difference between resentment and my resentment, fear and my fear. Do you see you're playing? Fear is not playing the role of my. The head is playing the role of my. Yeah? So the head plays the role of my and then fear. And what does it do with that? It produces fear through mental anxiety now. That's insane. So if you had like in most cars, let's say the brake fluid isn't a giant 4 gallon thing. Yeah. It's like a pint. Yes. Has a very important role, but there's not like 4 quarts of oil in it. It's a small thing. Yeah. So let's say you have your fear emotion like brake fluid. And in life, there's sometimes you have to brake, really brake. And then that brake fluid would secrete and it would help your tire stop. What happens if something
Ugh.
takes over the brake fluid and promotes fear, the reaction of fear through mental anxiety? Would you see that as the bondage of self? That you're always breaking and you're not, yes? And there's no need to brake because you're imagining shit ahead of you. And then when you're rolling down the hill, you're putting more gas on instead of just flowing with it. Yeah. That's the old driver. It's constantly putting its foot on the brake. Yeah. And many of us are nervous wrecks. We're nervous wrecks sitting on a very expensive couch. We're nervous wrecks having had an incredible croissant and something else. Yeah. Our needs have been met, but we now see wants as needs. And the lacking of the want being fulfilled produces a sense of survival threat, which is manufactured by the head. Yes. Most of us are in better positions than we think, I'd imagine. Yeah. Yeah. So this stuff is how we started the program. You follow the suggestions with this discipline and they become habits. And habits are actions without thoughts. And if the problem resides in the thoughts, you don't want the problem to have a lot to do with the solution. Yeah. So now I'm in the habit of being sober. I observe thy will is done. I do not pray thy will be done. Yeah. I have the uh I have the key to pause. Yes. Yeah. I don't have to say anything because I live it at the moment. And that's not because I'm spectacular. It's because I've been in the habit of being sober for 36 years. Yeah. And you can be in that habit in 36 hours. You can. Yeah. So, yeah. And now we're going to go to step 12, which is what? It's the agenda of a recovered alcoholic's life. It doesn't mention anything really about us. It's about helping other people to achieve sobriety and practice these principles in all our affairs. And if you can't do that now, limit your affairs until you can. Yeah. And there you go. Does it change? It really hasn't. That's the agenda of the 12th step, I feel. Yeah. So we have a spiritual awakening, and as a result of that, we make a decision to fulfill the 12th step, which is an agenda, which is to be available to others and help them either stay sober or get sober and practice these principles. What principles? The ones we've learned here in all our affairs, starting with, where we're at. Yeah. And having cautious limitation in the beginning. Like if you're outmatched, of course, everyone gets into a relationship when it's not advised, and then they make the other person a higher power, and then they get fucked, and then blah blah blah. But as long as they don't drink or use, they now learn to face life successfully. Yeah. So get on with it. If something's bothering you, service. Yeah. 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 All right. All right, Miss Volkbaum.
Okay. Questions? Anyone would like to ask a question?
Do you believe that if you stay sober day in and day out, it's gonna look different than when you got sober? Yes. Wherein I humbly believe recovery progresses, like they say about the problem. It progresses. It's doing push-ups in your whatever out in the parking lot. Yeah. You have to realize the new employer is much more powerful than the old employer. Yeah. The old employer is doing push-ups in the parking lot. Yes, it's doing push-ups in the parking lot. You're sitting on a nice couch. Yeah. Hmm. No?
Hey,
Well,
Paul,
I don't see any hands up. Ah, yes, no.
excuse me. Oh, never mind.
Excuse me, never mind. That was good.
Well, I was gonna say I could share something, but then someone else raised their hand, so I'm gonna let Steven talk.
Oh,
Yes,
Stephen.
yes. Stephen now, yeah.
Stephen, New Jersey. Come on in.
Hello. So this is a question that it doesn't have a lot to do with what you had spoken about today, but I had heard something you had shared a few days ago about our actions and our regrets not being ours.
Yes.
And I can see it, and I can understand it, but I can't swallow it. I
It's
can't.
okay. You don't have to swallow it. It's not getting shoved down your throat. It may be administered like someone would do with a little tablespoon to a sick person. Yes. But the progress that it's been initiated, it is going to grow. You don't have to swallow it. You can take it one little teaspoon at a time. And you're being fed it. You're not doing it yourself. Yeah. So maybe a day goes by, you don't get any. Yeah. Rest assured, whatever you need's coming. Yeah. So just get the idea. How are you going to do? Let's do something, Stephen, you and I. So there is a part in the big book where it says you will not regret the past. Yes. But the question is, what is the past? Who's past? At least that was some kind of almost sound like German techno was starting at an old rave. Yeah. You've been up on your feet since 12 o'clock. Yeah. So, Steve,
Mm.
we will not regret the past nor shut the door on it. Now, if you are the doer, let's just broadly see. Do you believe that you chose to do what you chose to do while under the influence?
Yes,
Do you do?
I do.
All right. So
I, I,
let's
I feel,
question
I
that.
feel responsible. I feel responsible for it. Yes.
I would say you're accountable for some of its effects. I don't believe you are truly responsible for it. So just let me share. All right, let's play this out. So in the book, near around this part, it says we were driven by 100 forms of something. Yes. Now the driven does that take you out of the responsibility of being the driver?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you recognize you're the driven because the head now going over your past, the head recognizes you as the driver and you have been convicted and guilty and tons of shit. Yeah. There's no way that you, when you're underneath that condition, is not going to regret the past, are you?
No.
You feel like I wish I would have done something else or this and that. Yes, yes, yeah. Okay. But it says here, you will not regret the past. Wow. Nor shut the door on it. Because in the inventory, it says it right here on page 64. We're going to do an inventory. And as we do the inventory, being convinced self-manifested in various ways is what has defeated us. It gives you the answer right there. So because self is in the sentence and us is in the sentence. And us is the defeated and self is the defeater. So the us is the driven and the self is the driver. Yeah? Yeah. So in this world of cars, if we run anyone over, yeah, the car is accountable for that running over. But was it actually responsible? Because you and I have been driven by the same thing, and where we end up seems very familiar. Yeah. So we end up in the same 3 parking spaces because there's not millions of drivers. In our case, there's one driver called self, and there's millions of cars called the driven, called Kathleen, Axel, Paul, and John. Yeah. But truly, in this world of cars, yes, the Toyota seems to be responsible, but it actually isn't because the Toyota was driven into that wall. The Toyota did not decide to drive into the wall. Yeah. So you and I were taken over by something that used us for transportation, self occupied us. Yeah. And we made many, many decisions based on self. They say it right in the book that set off a lot of trains of circumstances that brought us misfortune we felt we didn't deserve. Yeah. Then they go back to the old understanding. But did not we set the ball rolling? I do not believe we set the ball rolling. I believe the parasitical agent of alcoholism set the ball rolling. I do. That's my belief. I'm a member of AA, and that's what we're putting out here. I do not believe in your past that you were the driver, you were the driven. So something took you over, just like when a flu takes you over for like 5 or 10 days. Something has taken you over. This parasite has much longer vision. It doesn't want to leave, and it works you, and it talks to you as you. And after a while, you lose the sense of what you are, and you take to be you the sense of what the parasite is. Yes, yes. Watch it. Yeah. If you see it, if you entertain this idea, it's going to be unfucking undeniable when you recognize it. Because how did everyone get my thoughts at that AA meeting? No, we were driven by the same radio station. Yeah. There was a little bit of personal twits to it, but basically we all were subscribed to Unclear Channel. And the way the head was talking to you is the way the head was talking to me. And what the head drove you to do, the same head drove me to do. Yes? It is time to recognize, yes, you're accountable in this game board. You're accountable for what the car has done. You're not responsible. Yeah. You're not. So the whole point of the inventory, in my view, is to see how self has defeated you through its manifestation. Yes?
Yeah.
And those defeats were actions, usually. And you believe you did those actions, and that's part of the defeat. So that defeat carries the rest of your life because you believe you're the doer of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe that anymore. Yeah. So I do not regret the past, nor do I shut the door on it. I don't. Yeah. I couldn't get to that conclusion when I thought I was the doer of all that stuff. And I humbly do not believe that to be true. Yeah. I believe There's contact, conscious contact, and then there's a very quick mental reaction to that contact that's masquerading as you as we sit unnoticed as the great audience of awareness. Yeah. And to me, that's the unsuspected inner resource, that we are spirit, but we're acting as if we're mental and physical. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how I see it. And I feel like if you can hear this, I think it has a really deep root. It's going to give fruit in your life. Yeah. Don't you see this as unusual? People like us come into AA, like us, and after a time, they have a sense that something is doing for them what they can't do for themselves. Yeah. And some incredible evidential demonstrations there, like no human power could get me sober, and now I'm sober. Yeah, that's a pretty incredible demonstration. Talking about like a miracle of Jesus, that's a huge miracle. Yeah. That no, my mother couldn't get me sober, the state couldn't get me sober. Nothing could get me sober, but I got sober, got struck sober. Hallelujah. Yeah, I'm in the choir. I know I lost myself. I'm so interested in the choir. It's nice sitting there. So, all right. Oh, yeah. So, and everyone's giving gratitude to the higher power. Yes, you notice it. Oh, great. Fucking everything, all the riches I have now had nothing to do with me. It's the higher power has showered me with all this grace. Yes. But that sense of something doing for you what you couldn't do for yourself is not applied to the old employer. You believe you did all the shit that the old employer did through you that you would never have done by yourself. We are stuck in this fucking archaic belief that, oh yeah, all the gratitude and greatness I give to God, but all the shit and the blame I take for myself. That is insanity to me. Insanity, especially 40 years ago. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah, my
I
voice
can't
is
remember
big.
these-
Oh,
It's 40 years of it. I mean, can you imagine giving life to a resentment of 40 something years ago based on what you did to something or whatever, or some feeling of shame and guilt? How long is the umbilical cord and when will it get cut? Yes. Yes. So, yeah, I humbly do not believe I'm the doer of what's going on now, nor was I the doer of what was going on then. Yes. Yes. I think it's very, very suspicious that you can easily get into gratitude of what the higher power does, but there's absolutely no no clarity about the lower power, what it did through us. We claim everything that happened through us as we did it. Yeah. I understand because people are afraid of irresponsibility because it's part of the downfall of many of us, but it's over. I mean, Jesus, do you really want to hold yourself responsible for shit you had really nothing to do with? I mean, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, that's why I see Stephen. And come here if you like. We just pound away at it because half measures avail us nothing. And also, half measures received isn't going to go that far. Yeah. And a lot of times we're looking at everything in a half measured way. We're ready to give all the grace to that, but none of the blame to the other power. Yes? Yeah. Yeah? Do you believe when you feel something really works today that you did it? Probably not. You feel, but then you truly believe, the head does, that all the shit that you did back there, you did. I was the doer in addiction, not the doer in recovery. That's insane. That's insane. So do you feel like something's doing for you at times what you can't do for yourself?
Sometimes I'm not sober. I'm struggling to get sober, Paul.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, all right. Well, then let's just stay with that then. Let's just get you, not get you. but try to get a little time, and then these ideas will be waiting for you to entertain. But really, the primary point is to get physically sober. Yeah. If you're struggling with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the point. I mean, I get there, I'll get 30 days, and then no fucking way. I got to go back because I need something to kill the pain, quite honestly. That's how
Yeah.
it feels.
Well, there's, you know, this is why we have meetings and everything. And this is why we have people willing to work with you, because sometimes the hardest part of it is in the beginning. Yes. Because you're in a gravitational pull and you're trying to enter a new gravitational pull. Yes. And the old gravitational pull may seem to be stronger than the new one at the time. This is why the we is important. Yeah. So, yeah. Try to find someone that you halfway like or respect and ask them to help you. And then just take it an hour at a time. Yeah. And then we'll be here waiting because we've been given the luxury of entertaining these ideas, because I'm not entertaining blowing my brains out right now. So I can entertain these possibilities. So, yeah. So that's what I would do. You're in New Jersey. Where in New Jersey? Do you mind?
I'm in Vernon, New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's,
So we've met before here. Yeah.
I've met you once and we've spoken a few months ago. Yeah.
Yes, I remember now. I remembered when I saw you. Well, there's so much. There's a lot of AA in New Jersey.
Tons. Yeah.
And so just instead of just sitting in it, just do something.
That's fair enough because I do. I go and I sit. I
Yeah.
do.
No, get a commitment. Put the chairs without anyone asking you. Put the chairs away. Get into the spirit of it. You're gonna get as it says in this reading, it works. You're gonna feel better. I mean, just that simple. And right now, the head's piling on. Yeah. You feel bad and the head just wants to pile on. So you can't seem to get out of that by yourself. So you have to enter the we of the program. Yeah. It'll stop the head from piling on, and then you'll get some air. Yeah. Yes. And then some hope will return. And there you go.
All right.
Yes. Many of us started exactly where you are, and we needed a lot of help. And the help is there. And the people, it's good for the goose and the gander. It's good for you and the person that's offering it. Yes. It's very healthy. Yeah. So, yeah, bro, it would be nice to see you. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Don't take that which hates you to be you. It isn't. Yeah. That which goes over all of your seeming failures concerning alcoholism does not have your best interests at heart. It has its best interests. Yeah. Yeah. There's what produces this possibility, this so depressive condition, is a huge amount of faith in that which doesn't deserve any faith. Yeah. We have believed our thoughts or the thoughts. Yes. So you need help. There's a team. Let them help you. Yeah.
Cool.
And then we're here twice a week and for the recovery. And yeah. Thank you, bro. Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So everyone here could feel the feeling of Stephen. Yes. Sorry. Not take, and the gratitude, because we've all been in there in that mix. And what a joy that some of us are not in it at the moment. Yeah. The great thing of recovery is we're not all insane at the same time. Yeah. So,
Paul, here is also Rico. Rico,
yeah, bring Rico in, the man of the hour.
Good evening, good afternoon, family, friends. Welcome, newcomers. Thank you for letting me be here with you. I send you love and light from my heart to yours. Now, I wonder, I didn't have a question. I wanted to comment on Stephen. First of all, Stephen, I want to thank you for sharing and encourage you that if you don't open your mouth and tell somebody that, I don't know too many people in 12-step programs that are clairvoyant. They may claim to be, but they're not. If you open up and tell somebody like you just shared with Paul and let people know where you are, you'd be surprised. People will help you. They can't do it for you, but people will help you. So I want to thank you for reminding me to always be transparent, because the dividends are great if you allow them to be. Other than that, I just wanted to share briefly, Paul, on that 12-step. You know, a lot of people I got clean with on the 12-step, they were so anxious to run out and share this message. And that didn't really move me. What moved me was I wanted to see what happened to me. I came here, a no God baby, didn't want to be bothered with God. I did the things mechanically. I didn't know that God didn't need my permission to work in my life. I didn't know that. As I continued to stay around and do things sort of changed. So for me, the 12-step was really about, can you show me what happened to that Puerto Rican sleaze bag that was eating out of that dumpster, not wanting to be bothered with you, and this man that stands here before you? And through a silent retreat, I got to see that montage. And that was much more exciting about running around sharing about how it was. And, you know, I was shown that because I opened my mouth to that infinite one, and it happened. But the moral of my story is, Steve, keep sharing where you are, man. Don't be afraid. We're here to help. There's a prayer in the Course of Miracles that says, I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent He who sent me. Do not worry about what to do or what to say, because He who sent me will direct me. And I will learn how to heal as I allow him or her to teach me to heal, one day at a time. And for that, we're forever grateful. So, Steve, keep coming back, man. I'm from New York and Spanish Harlem, so I know a lot of people in Jersey, man. There's a lot of AA in Jersey. Get to it.
Enjoy easy. Of course, the AA is better in New York, obviously, New York City. That doesn't have to be spoken. Anyone else? New
Yeah,
Yorkers have an opinion on New Jersey.
I raised my hand, Paul. Yeah, I also wanted to say thank you for sharing tonight. I don't know, I felt quite touched in the moment, because what Steve was also sharing, what I love here in this group is that we can really just talk directly, know what is happening. And sometimes I'm with people because I'm actually no alcoholic. I don't know if it matters, but I'm a smoky holic. So it's another addiction. Not much better either. And sometimes, you know, you talk to people and there is so much pride and arrogance, even though they also have their problems. And but it's like there is no real sharing, yeah, often. And here you can really open your heart, what I find, and it's really a support. I feel it, even if we never meet physically, but it helped so much here. I'm still smoking, so even, but yeah, and here in the mental state, it is much better. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Folkman.
We have also Maggie Powell now. Maggie.
Hey, hey, I'm Maggie. I'm an alcoholic.
Maggie.
Hey, yeah, my first 6 months, I became a professional at letting go. I just, at first, I love what you shared today, because the third step prayer was so necessary for me. And then I was doing that hospice caregiving I spoke about over the summer with a bipolar insane, sober, 40 years sober, one of our old timers in Santa Barbara. And that was difficult. I can do dementia and I've done a lot of caregiving, but I would say every morning I'm waking the third step prayer. And after a week or two or three, I was just throughout the day, I would say, oh, God's will, you know. And then after about 6 weeks, I didn't hardly need to even have those two words cross my mind. It was just an offering over and a letting go. And so I just was tickled as you were talking. There's progress here, you know. You grow out of stuff and you grow into stuff. And I did burn out towards the end of August. You know, it was a 40-mile each way drive down to Santa Barbara from Solving, and several days a week. And so I handed him over to two other caregivers, and he started to climb. We talked on the phone a lot, and then November 5th, he passed in peace at a facility. And John M, bless him. And he gifted me everything. Last night I gave away his brass belt buckle that he got in 1986 or something to one of his friends. But I found I needed by the end of November to be saying the third step prayer again, because I was at a whole new, that I couldn't find work, other things were happening. And so for me, it's going in natural waves, and I have gained skills and peace that I never thought I would have. So yeah, the fact that once you've got it on a deep level, you can just use it in life and not repeatedly stay in the pattern of saying the prayer every morning when you wake up. What feels right is I'm living it when I'm living it, and to know that. So, Stephen, hang in there, man. I had to just let go on a moment-to-moment basis, seriously. So blessings, everybody. Thanks.
Yes. One thing too, if you can't do it on your own and maybe other people suggest something, maybe listen to them. Yeah. It's not so bad. Some people need like a manufactured start. Yeah, and they have a lot of facilities there. My friend, I do a lot of talks at one called Milestone in Dover, New Jersey. And Mike Frank, the head of it, and Nicoletta, I would call Nicoletta, ask for her. They know everything about how to get a, a, a formal help, yes, to take a break if that's is pointed at. So yeah, there's a lot of help available. I remember I got two misfires like at the you know my little rocket was put on a launcher called Project Return in the Bronx, and I was in there for 3 months up near Yankee Stadium. uh I left on a resentment there. It got and I didn't think something was right, and I left. And then about a year or so later, I ended up in a program called Delancey Street in San Francisco for 2 years, and I graduated that one and still went back out. Uh, and then I was washed up finally on the shores of AA 10 months later, and all of the time in those programs were very valuable in hindsight. Yeah. I didn't seem to get it at the time, but it really furthered an understanding that blossomed in recovery. So sometimes you got to see the dilemma with me, one of many, was if I was managing life, I was led to having to be managed by others. That's what happened. I just went so out there, somebody had to step in. Either the police generated it or the hospital generated it, but sometime I would end up, looking at no possibility other than going into something. So I did. Yeah. Yeah. So, yep, there's a lot of ways, and there's so much support, and it's all based on your willingness, literally. The the best the best program will have no effect without willingness. And And what you would call a bad program can be made to seem great with willingness. Yeah. Yeah. And like they said in the beginning, if you don't feel you're willing, ask for the willingness to be willing. Yeah. Just go before it and ask from there. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. All right. Anyone else?
Yes, Heather is here also. Heather?
Betty, I'm driving, so I'm going to turn my screen off, but I just wanted to say a couple things, if I may.
Yes.
Okay, so I I just had a food break of I lost 13 years, 146 days abstinence in a program that I had cultivated myself. And we might want to mute T. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Mike. So and so thank goodness for these structures, because when I finally admitted the break, realizing I'd eaten, the wrong things before that day, but that was the final thing when I said, if it's a break, you do that. And I did it. So instead of losing 13 and a half years abstinent, I have logged in 4,891 days of self-care, self-love, and a way of living. And so I'm thankful for the breaks. I'm thankful because I'm so excited to start again. I'm on day 16, and it's like I'm like a fresh, shiny new puppy, and I'm finding I think when I found this app where you could go on and any time of the day someone will meet with you on video and you can co-work with them. And I realized we all need some adult supervision. And as I spend more years in these rooms through different money programs and other ones, I realize that you kind of catch it a little sooner, for me. It's not so extreme. So I just want to thank everybody. Thank you, Paul, and thank you, Mike, for being our guardian. And just my heart is just exploding with gratitude and love for everybody, because here we are in a conversation it's kind of vulnerable and healing, and I think that's the most sacred thing you can do. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Well, it would be great if, in a weird way, our little group could practice the principle of love and tolerance. Yeah, of that the AA group is meant to show. Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you feel love intolerant, because it's the we. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Some of the AA things, like love and tolerance, override the individuals at the meeting. And then the new person feels like they've been really accepted and wanted, when everyone in the room had done an inventory on the new person and wasn't demonstrating that much love and tolerance. But the feeling when we get together, that loving expression, is love and tolerance. Isn't that incredible? Yeah. It's incredibly to be overridden, isn't it? A lot over the day. I have my little plan and design, and then it gets overridden. And you're so in the use of having your little plans and design thwarted, you respond quickly. And then immediately you see, oh, because I was so set on looking this way, I was missing something. And then yeah, all of that. It's very cool. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's a trip. Sometimes I'm here with some people visiting or something. I have my little plan design. Then I see it going south. And that ability honed over the years, you let go of the lead balloon. Yeah. It's just like, and it usually comes out a lot better. Yes, that's funny. Yep. All right, thank you. Anyone, we have any other questions or shares? If not, we'll start saying goodbye. Now, there's a wild thing. I see Peter from Arizona has merged with Eileen in Arizona, but they're not Arizonians. No, no. All right, well, Let the truth be told. Okay, so Michael Stacy, thank you. And really, thank you, Kathy, Michael, every one of you, John, me, everyone, for just playing a simple role of holding the space for people to come in here. And yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to be a doorman who just keeps the door open. That's all. You don't have to open and close it. Just your role of being the doorman is just keeping the door open. And noticing if it closes, that's all. And then just swing it open again. Yeah. All right. So, John, Florida, nice to see you, bro. Kathleen, as always, yes. Stephen Mack, on having never left. Miss Folkman, yeah, Miss Folkman, thank you so much, honey. You're a lifetime member of Zen Bitch Lab. Yeah. Rick Rowe, Toronto. Axel, another friend from Germany. Melody from Phoenix. I'm starting to be suspicious if she's from Arizona too.
No,
I don't
I'm
know.
from Arizona.
Oh, you okay? All right. Yeah, you seem like.
Originally from New Jersey, but transplanted.
Oh, I knew it. It comes out. Yes. All right, Stephen in New Jersey. Don't tell me you're from Arizona. No, all right. He's from New Jersey. Joseph, nice to see you. I think Joseph is in France and of France. Yes? Yes, all right. Walter. Walter is the Netherlands. Yeah. Mickey, our greeter. John K., an established member of Zen Bitch Lab. Zoom. Annette, nice to see you, honey. Travis, wow. There's an old song by Traffic called Paper Sun. There it goes. And now his head's there. All right. Celia. Celia, how are you, honey? Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Rico Cruz, the man of the hour. There's Al Vegas trying to get some nutrients in him. Yeah, he's busy. Chewing. All right. Oliver, our friend in Berlin. Yeah. We got a strong German block in Zen Bitch Lab. Very sound, foundational. Yeah. I think that's it. Hey, thank you. Yeah. Let the beauty of the day continue on. I'll see you guys. Bye bye. We'll be here Saturday.
Very
Yeah.
small.
See ya.